and welcome to Base Builders. We're going to answer the question, what is Presto? And when you understand what Presto can do for your firm, you're going to be extremely excited with the efficiencies and effectiveness that it can bring to you. So what is Presto? It is a business and project management software solution that has been built and priced specifically for small and medium-sized architecture and engineering firms. It has everything you need in a single solution. So whether you're writing proposals and want to track the work that's coming in, or you want to just see a dashboard of what's going on in your office, you need to do billings between you and your consultants or your vendors, or you want to enter time slips, and you need all this data to integrate with QuickBooks. That's what Presto brings to the table. This is the dashboard. On the dashboard, everybody can see their own list of phone numbers for companies and contacts. That's in the upper left-hand side. In the upper right-hand side, they can see the tasks that they need to be working on, all of their assigned projects, all of their favorite projects, any documents that they've started in the system that are still in draft mode. And down at the bottom is a place to enter their time slips, so they stay up to date with the projects they're working on. Sliding into the work module, this is where the project list is. And as you can see, there's the number and the name and the date and the client and the typical list view for projects. What we've added are tracking fields. These are multi-layered and very powerful. There's no limit to the number of columns that you can add there to track different pieces of information about your projects. Clicking on any of these will sort by that column. You can go in and find what you need, sort it, and report it. You can do reports and look at your fees in any of these categories. You can look at your profitabilities. You can look at dollars of construction. With this type of organization to your projects, you'll be able to identify that sweet spot of the project types that generate the most revenue and the highest profits. With 2 clicks, you can see every project that has an upcoming milestone and see when that milestone is due. You can also track your hours on your projects. How many hours are budgeted, what's been accrued, and am I on schedule with where I need to be, or have we gone over on our hours? See that in a list view, up to date, as your employees record their time slips. This is the sheet view of each project. Here we see more general detail about it, such as the project number and the name, the date it came in. Is it an active project? What is the SF330 code? How many drawings have we put together? Of course, there's a place to enter the client and the owner. And you can even put in the project location. Presto is smart enough to connect you to Google Earth or Google Maps, so you can go out and find any project or any client. You can assign as many staff members to any project as you like. These are your tracking fields, so you can see what has been assigned to this project. We even give you value fields where you can track quantitative numbers about your projects, and then Presto will run ratios such as how much fee did you get or how many units did you have per square foot. Some of our clients that design a lot of hotels will track the number of rooms. Others that do hospitals will track the number of beds. Any quantitative number that you have that you want to track, you'll have that opportunity. This is where we capture the institutional memory about your projects. Think of this. You can go in and search for anything that's in here. You can find every project you've done with a swimming pool if you recorded that data. Perhaps you want to find a certain material such as a terrazzo floor, or maybe a LEED qualified product like bamboo hardwood flooring. Anything at all you can search for. Then you can go to those projects to grab details, grab spec sections, and pull them forward, so you're not reinventing the wheel. Or perhaps you want to list those projects on a resume. Down here, you actually have a resume description that you can fill in for every project. And with a single click, it's going to take the basic project information and this resume information and put it on the clipboard for you to paste into your statement of qualifications. This is where we record notes. I want you to think of it as an electronic diary or an electronic log for your project. You can see that we have an idea and we have a phone call. Every one of these is date and timestamp, so you know when it was recorded. If you left a voicemail for somebody, you can go in and log that. And then every word of these notes is searchable, so you can go in and find past notes instantly. Because they're date and time stamped, they could also help if you get into a situation where you're having a legal dispute about a project and you need to know what happened when. That's what we call CYA. It's cover your backside with a detailed list of notes of everything that's happened on your projects. Every project can have an unlimited number of tasks. You can create tasks one at a time, or you can set up master task lists and put them into different categories and import them into your projects. Presto even handles your basic correspondence for letters, memos, faxes, transmittals, and emails. All of the correspondence right in the database. And because it's all in the database, it's all searchable. So if you need to find a document discussing backflow preventers or perhaps the exiting out of a building, you're going to be able to find that instantly. And you can see we have beautiful documents here. They will have your logo in here. You can slide the logo to the left or to the right of the sheet. We can even do a customized printout for you. Here are our project phases. There's no limit to the number of phases that you can create for a project. And each phase can be independently billed as either a fixed fee or an hourly. And at any time you can come in here and add new phases as things come up on your projects. And again, they can be billed hourly or fixed fee. So if you need to do some additional services and bill that to the client, you're going to have the freedom and opportunity to do that. This is a time summary on each project. You can see the time by phase, by billing rate, by staff member, so you can analyze and see how and where time is being spent on your projects. We've integrated an analyzer that'll tell you if you're on schedule, ahead of schedule, or behind schedule. It'll even tell you if you're on, over, or under budget. You can put in your project budgets. This is where you're going to put in the construction cost for your jobs. You can break it down as detailed as you want. Some of our clients actually break it down by specification section. If you're doing a really small job, you may have a single line for the whole enchilada, whatever you want to call it, just one line. You just fill in your estimate. When it goes to bid, you fill in your actuals. And Presto will calculate the difference and tell you what those percentages were. It'll even give you the per square foot or per square meter cost for both the estimate and the actuals. Down here, you merely enter in your areas. You can also track your change orders that are a part of the design team or owner request, owner changes, and unforeseen conditions. And Presto will give you your percentages on those change orders so you can track your projects and track your history to see how you're doing. This is a sweet little address book. First of all, you got the basic client information, but there's an unlimited number of addresses that you can set up for each client. We have checklists so that you can go in and create your Christmas card list or your company picnic list, any other list that you want to create, and then instantly print labels. You can have a list of contacts, and all of these contacts are in the contacts database, but they're linked back to this company. Then, drilling into either a company or a contact, you can see every note that you've taken that's been associated with them, every document that's been sent to them, any task that's been associated with them as well. This actually completes a CRM package for you to manage your relationships with all of your clients. You can also see all of the projects that you've done with a client. And if you're given access, you can even see the financials. So you can see what your fees are, what you've invoiced your clients, receipts that you've gotten, the balance due, and it totals it all up down here at the bottom. So when you're working with various clients, you'll have a good history of how much work they're actually bringing into your office. In the money module is where we track fees. So here is a list view that's showing the fees. We see the fees, what's been invoiced, how much remainder, what our cost is, including our profit factor, and what needs to go out to our subconsultants, all at a glance. We also have profits shown. So now we can see our fees, what our gross profit is and its percentage of the fee, what our net profit is, including overhead, and our maximum profit, which is the best case scenario if you can finish the job with no additional cost. All at a glance. And you can run reports on these projects so you can identify which projects or which project types might be your most profitable. The ratios are powerful. Here we can see our project multiplier, also known as our billing divided by our labor cost. You'll also see your fee as a percentage of construction cost, how much fee you got per square foot, per hour that you've spent, per drawing produced, how many hours you spent per square foot, how many hours you spent per drawing. These ratios become very valuable when you analyze your past projects and when you're setting fees for future work. We also let you forecast your billings so you can project what are you going to be invoicing out over the next several months so that you can get an idea of what your future cash flows are going to be. And we can run a plethora of reports. This first one is that forecast. So sit down with the partners in your firm on a monthly basis and look to see where your cash flows are going to be. Here, we've taken one of the tracking fields, the project type, and we've done a summary where we've summarized our banks and our libraries and our office buildings, and we're looking at our fees, what we're paying out to subconsultants, and the net values that are staying in our firm. You could even come in and run it and look at the fees, your labor and overhead cost, and then see your gross profit and your net profit. Now you can compare the profitability of your banks to your libraries to your office buildings. You could have very easily ran this report and looked at your design build and compared it to your plan spec, or your publicly funded to your privately funded. Anything that you want to track, you're going to be able to report on. You can do a summary on the same report and look at how hours are being spent. And are you meeting your budgets? You may want to do this by project manager. Maybe you have a project manager that's going over on their hourly allocations. If you drill into a project, here you can see the time summarized by multiple different categories, and here we did it by phase and activity. You can also do it by staff member, by billing rate. There's a multitude of reports that you can do to see how and where time is being spent on your projects. Now, Presto even does your invoicing for you, and we make it very simple. You can bill your fixed fee, your hourly, your reimbursables, and your sub-vendors all on the same invoice. And we've even set up a field where you can write a nice description to the client so they understand what it is you're billing them for. Down here in the bottom will be the phases. Since we're on fixed fee layout, we only see the fixed fee items. If we were on the hourly layout, we would see the phases that were set up as hourly. And you simply click on the phase that you want to bill, and it moves it up into the invoice for you. And then you just tell it how much of that phase you want to include in this invoice by either percentage or dollar amount. Here's what they look like. Of course, the comments will print. You have your fixed fee section, your hourly section, your reimbursables, and your totals at the bottom. These are customizable so that you can change the titles in these and do a lot of modifications. And if you really need to get specific, you can hire us to do a custom invoice just for your firm. Presto will even track your proposals. So you can see how many dollars of proposals you're working on right now. How many are open and out and waiting for them to come in. What have you won? What have you lost? And you can score the probability of the likelihood that you're going to win the project so you can get a good projection of future workloads coming into your office. Let's talk about accounting. Presto is not an accounting package, but it does so much, and we integrate with QuickBooks. So QuickBooks will continue to do your accounting, but we're going to give you the job cost accounting that you need by telling you both your gross and net profits on your projects. We push your clients, your projects, your invoices, your time slips, all of that information we share with QuickBooks so you don't have double entry. So, why don't you get started today? Because we're going to give you free training, free implementation and setup. We're going to give you free data migration to move your existing information into it. You get unlimited technical support, no charge for that. You get all of our upgrades and all of our updates for the future of the product. And we're the only software that we know of that comes with a 90-day, 100% money-back guarantee. So you really have nothing to lose. So why don't you go ahead and pick up the phone and give us a call. Schedule a time for one of our sales reps to walk through the product with you and see how it will fit with your firm.